I am here with Adrian. I have come back to the Iconic Aesthetics Clinic for my 6-week check, and I cannot believe it has now been 6 weeks since I've had my Mia procedure done. Obviously, you guys have been on my journey with me, pre-Mia, having my Mia procedure done, and all of my recovery as well. So I thought it'd be an amazing opportunity to just chat with Adrian about everything from his perspective, how he thinks things have been going, and just to find out what I should expect from the next 6 weeks really, and to answer some of the questions that I know people have been asking me on some of my videos. So obviously, over the course of my recovery, I have been, sharing my experiences about the niggles I've had, any pain that I've had, and just things I've experienced that might not be what other people experience, obviously. What do you think would be like the normal types of aftercare things people may experience? So what would be like normal pain or normal symptoms that may be different for other people than what I've had?
Well, I think you recovered pretty well. So I think you said for the first 3 days it felt like you've been doing a lot of bench presses. 1,000 bench presses. So that is what it feels like. It feels sore. We tend to find that athletes, people who work out more, tend to recover quicker because they're used to that discomfort. So we normally say, compared to a normal breast enlargement, things happen twice as quick. So for a traditional breast enlargement, you're back in the gym at 6 weeks, Mia 3 weeks. For a traditional breast enlargement, pain's probably 10 days, and for a Mia, it's about 4 or 5. Was that how it was with you?
Yeah, I think for the first week or so, it's more just sensitivity more than anything else, just trying to be mindful of the movements I was doing and not overstretching, and then it was the incision site that
was pulling.
Incision site that was pulling, and that felt like the stitches, but the pain generally for me was pretty mild, and I think that's what I've tried to sort of convey, that the downtime was like so minimal comparatively to what I would have expected from a normal procedure.
So when were you back in action? Normal? Or relatively?
Well, 10 days definitely doing most normal things, and then it was just the incision site and the tugging that I was getting, which was, reducing my ability to do certain things like lift up high, but it was never sort of a massive deal.
Still do your normal work with children and things.
Absolutely, and that's some of the things that people have been asking me is, what else could people expect maybe? Like, what else would be like a normal
So I would say you are slightly quicker than normal, but from our experience, that is, hard.
That's normal.
But you also said, Aaron, didn't you, one was sat a bit higher initially. So how long did that last for?
So I think it got to, by day 4 or 5, I was noticing that they were settling at a different speed, and I think a month in or so, I then didn't notice it, and I think when I didn't notice I was noticing it, if that makes sense. I sort of wasn't looking in the mirror anymore and thinking, oh well, that looks like it's sticking out a bit more, so I guess I stopped thinking about it. So probably about a month or so. And
they were a bit swollen, weren't they? So when did the swelling sort of go down for you?
Probably about a week. A week. The majority of the swelling went within the first few days, and then within a week I think everything had settled, because I actually had swelling sort of all up here and under here as well, which was a real surprise. I didn't quite expect to get swelling like that.
That's from a lot of the fluid we use, so that just disappears.
So that's normal. So from your perspective, what makes Mia such an incredible option? And do you think a traditional procedure would still be the best option for some or most people, or in what capacity would somebody choose a traditional procedure over the Mia procedure?
So Erin, I think we're moving very much, I think in 10, 15 years time, all implants will be inserted this way. But at the moment, we can only use Mia for a certain size of implant. So the biggest CC, implants measured in CCs, is 195. So that's going to go up 1, 2, possibly 3 cup sizes, because the equipment, that's the maximum implant we can use. So this is a Mia implant. So you see it's quite small.
Is that my one?
Yeah, you've got a good eye. So, can you read that then?
9.5.
Yeah, that's a teeny
bit bigger. So that's the one bigger than mine.
Yeah, teeny bit.
That's That's interesting.
Only desserts do. Yeah, but so these are designed. They're made with the same material as a normal implant, but they're just designed in a diamond shape, so they can be put in. It's really injected. Do you want to touch it?
Yeah. I feel so weird. So that's what you would get with Mia, and why would somebody then have to have a traditional procedure? Like, what would they be looking for, or what may they have, which would mean that they couldn't have Mia if it wasn't size?
It's mainly size.
So it's mainly size.
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody has had breast work done before, an enhancement before, or anything like that, could they still have Mia?
That's a good question. So normally, if they've had work done before, they would have scars somewhere. So we would normally use the existing scar for the surgery.
Fine.
So Mia's normally for when the first time you have an augmentation.
Yeah.
But I think you can also remove implants with a Mia, so you can reverse it as well. So I think we're very early days with this new technology. I think it's just going to get more and more of it.
And if somebody wanted a bit of like an uplift as well,
Yes.
would Mia be a suitable option? Would that
Yes.
give the results, or would that need to be done in a different way because it's a different type of surgery?
Well, you're asking good questions there. So actually in Switzerland and a few places which are using a lot of Mia, they're using it for pretty much all their implants and doing the uplift. So they're putting the implants in that way, but doing the uplifts completely separate. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's good in a way because they're completely different from each other. So I think it's a bit like laparoscopic surgery. When you had an appendix when you were young, you had a cut. I did.
Yeah.
But now it's all done telescopically. So we're moving that way, and this is plastic surgery's way of moving.
So don't discount Mia if you think you're wanting something after just a little bit of a boost. Always worth asking the question.
And of course we do all the other things as well.
Yeah.
So we do all the uplifts, the reductions. We have a team doing these things.
Yeah, wonderful. This is a really good question, and actually one that I sort of focused on a lot was to do with size.
Yeah.
How do you determine the best size for somebody? So, as I said, I've been getting loads of questions about why did I have a 170 implant, and you looked at me and said that 170 would be best for me. Obviously, my biggest concern was them looking unnatural, and when I came in for my appointment, I was just trying to articulate myself in the best way to sort of tell you that I just wanted something that looked natural and that looked like it was for me. But you sort of being the professional, what are you looking for in terms of sizing? Because I was then worried I was going to be too big, I was then worried I was going to be too small, and actually the size thing played on my mind way more than actually going and having the procedure done. Like, that was my biggest worry. It wasn't the procedure, it was making the wrong decision. So how do you determine the size? Because I looked at you and I was like, you tell me, you're the pro.
So what we do, so we can measure you. So we do very detailed measurements, and then tell you what range would suit you. Because if every implant looks different on different people, no one's measured correctly, and all the bras, different cup sizes are different. So it's not very scientific in that way. So what we do, we measure you, we take detailed measurements. We use a 3D software to analyse you. You bring us photos of what you would like. But the most important thing is you try the implants. So when you try the implants, Erin, these are the...
I remember trying this on, and I got Melissa to take a photo of me in a bikini top with this implant in, and that was me doing my own sort of before and after. And when I put my 3 photos together, my before in the bikini top, my implant in the bikini top, and now my new boobs in the bikini top, they honestly,
are they the same?
You probably wouldn't be able to tell, and it's amazing. I don't know if that's just a fluke.
So what we are aiming to do is you come in, you bring us photos of what you like. We tell you whether it's achievable, because not everything is achievable. So, and then we tell you the range. So what's really interesting is we did your 3D, then we tried the sizes, and now you're you. And if we had all 3 photos, they'd be similar.
They do look similar.
But that's great. So that's perfect.
So do you look at sort of how much breast tissue somebody has got? So obviously I feel. You obviously may say differently. Didn't have much breast tissue. I didn't have much volume, and I had a 170. If somebody was coming in and they did have slightly bigger boobs than I had at the start point, and they had a 170. Obviously, they'd be bigger. They would then be bigger. So you're sort of looking at everything and making the judgment.
It's height, shape, posture. It's everything really. So the same implant. If you look on our Instagram, we've got ladies with all the same implants, but they look really different.
Totally different.
So it's difficult. But the best way to do it, I think, is for you. So we tell you what's possible, and then that's really great. So when you tried them, that was realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. So when you try, we have lots of different ones.
Yeah.
So you see, you have 4 sizes.
Yeah.
You see. So, well, our team actually, Melissa sort of heads our team. They will try the implants as you did, and then each one corresponds to a certain size.
It was actually really scary doing that size. I remember I was given the smallest one to put in. I looked in the mirror and I instantly went, "That's too big."
Yes, exactly.
Too big. Because for me, I wasn't used to it, and I was then in my head thinking, "Oh my goodness, I'm going to have this unnatural thing, and this is the smallest one."
Yeah.
But then you sort of get used to it. So some of the girls that messaged me, they're like, "Oh, well, 170 seems so small, I'm just going to get the biggest one." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't think you think about it like that. Don't think about it like that. Go and find what's best for you, rather than just saying what it is."
Are much bigger. So 190cc Mia, would be a sort of equivalent of 245 traditional because of the different shape.
Yeah.
So you've been a really great success story because you were one of the first people, weren't you? And it's worked out really well, and we're really pleased. And you've been a brilliant ambassador.
Oh, thank you. And I'm really pleased. So obviously it's been 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
What should I expect from the next 6 weeks in terms of recovery?
Yeah, so I think just listen to your body, get back to normal, go back to all your activities. If you get any twinges, just slow down on that. But we'd expect you to be back to full everything. Back to normal.
Yeah, I feel like that. I'm like that now, so mainly just...
I mean, people with breast implants, I think just because they're designed to be exactly the same softness as the breast, you don't really feel them. Some people say they can be a bit cold in the pins because they haven't got blood supply. Yeah. So that's one.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, I know.
I'll have to let you know.
You go to Finland, all right?
That's so interesting.
They won't freeze or anything, but so just like to say thanks for being brilliant patient and spreading the Mia word.
Thank you. So we need to just obviously crack on with my 6-week check.
Yes.
Just for everyone else, what are you checking for in this appointment, and what are you assessing, and what are you looking at?
Okay, so we look at the 4 pictures, and then we look at your pictures today. So we look exactly how things have changed. We look at your scar. So your scar's healing well, but it does need a bit of silicone gel massage on it because it's got little red areas.
Yeah.
So we need to get that flattened so you can't see it. Then we look for softness. So are both breasts soft, evenly soft, which they are in you. And then we also look at symmetry. So we look, are your breasts perfectly shaped and symmetrical? Is the fold symmetrical? And you are all of those things. Aren't you?
I passed. Yay! Wonderful. So what we'll just quickly do is, if you can just have a look at my scars, so we can just talk everyone through what you're looking for in terms of that healing, because I know more than the boob thing, people are interested in the scar. So let's do that.
So I just thought we'd have a look at Erin's scar. So we're 6 weeks. So a little bit red at the top, but hidden. So we need a little bit of massage on there to help it flatten and soften. And then arm down, Erin. So you see from the front, it's completely hidden. Can you feel it at all?
No, I can't. Obviously, this one is a little bit red and a little bit raised, but I had a scab on the top of this one. As soon as I took my plasters off, there was sort of a little bit of an opening there, so I think that's why that one's still a bit like that. But comparatively, this one...
So this one is you always heal differently on different sides of your body. This is perfect. So for 6 weeks. So if we have a little look, so it is 2.6 centimeters long. It's a little bit red at the top. it's already gone pale in the middle and it's pale at the bottom. So we expect this scar to almost completely disappear to like the middle bit, so you really won't be able to see it. And when Erin puts her arm down like that, you can't see the scar.
It's perfect, honestly.
Yeah, that's a dance.
Yeah, well, even then, but I'm, you know, even when my arms are like this, I'm not bothered by it.
No.
I really do feel great, and obviously I'm biased, but I think they look, great as well.
And Erin, like in a year or two, you won't really be able to see it.
And that's what I feel like. I feel like in 6 months or a year, I'll just forget I'd had anything done.
Yeah,
which is
exactly right. Yeah,
but it's brilliant. Thank you
so
much.
Got a lovely face.
We made it to 6 weeks.
Well
Thank you so much, everybody. I guess that's sort of the end of our Mia journey for
now. You've got to
now.
come back to see it.
Well, I'll check in periodically just to see how things are going. But thank you so much for coming on this journey. And thanks
for being a lovely patient, Erin. Thanks for watching and supporting her. She's a lovely person.
Thank you.